And our next match for round 5 is HunterPence, the former Major League Baseball player, and taaliavess.
Oh, that's gonna be great. I can't. I mean, both are friends of mine, and the fun story here is they know each other in person as well. They come from the same region. There's the same local store. They went to the same local store, and you're gonna see a story from HunterPence later on in the video. And Talia was actually there as well when it happened. So it's really cool to see two friends battle against each other, and they know each other for many, many years, and now we see them against each other.
Friendly battles. That's honestly what's so fun about this. So
Yes.
this is HunterPence's deck. He's playing Dimir Rogues, which, as we've been talking about, has been doing relatively well this tournament.
This is another Dimir Rogues variation. We don't have the Lures version here. What's really, I mean, there are two cards in this deck, right? If you look at this deck, you see two cards and you go like, oh, they are different. They are 100% different, and that is Slitherwisp and Lochmer Serpent. I mean, like, those two cards are really spicy, and I know Hunter likes the spicy cards. I was talking a lot about this with him, and yeah, I mean, Slitherwisp can put in work, right? I mean, a 3 mana, 3/2 with Flash, and whenever you cast another spell that has Flash, you draw a card and opponent loses a life.
It's just so crazy.
Yeah, and also, because there's a Slitherwisp, we also see some Omen of the Sea for some additional Flash cards. So we have 2, 4, 10, 12 Flash cards and Slitherwisp, 14. Then Sarah, another 2. We have actually 17 cards with Flash. It's even more than like this is Dimir Flash. This is not only Dimir Rogue, this is Dimir Flash. And the Lochmer Serpent, a really interesting card. 6 mana, 7/7 with Flash. That is huge. And the card can come back, right? You can take cards out of the graveyard.
And this is taaliavess's deck. We have more Gruul Adventures.
Yep. This looks like additional Gruul Adventures, and I think the card that stands out is a Primal Might as a one-off in the deck and double Questing Beast.
All right, here is our game. So we're looking at Hunter's screen here. Or no, sorry, we're looking at Talia's screen here. Yep. Hunter's screen is up above. Ooh, and we've got that Innkeeper.
That's a good draw, yeah. That's definitely the draw you want here. Your hand was a bit too slow, but still, you have the Henge and the Love Struck Beast to make the turn 4. I want to go Henge again. On Hunter's side, we have a counter, and we have an Enforcer.
Exactly. And it is unfortunate that Talia, that her only lands are both Fabled Passages. She's probably going to need to crack the passage for red here.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it was correct to play it here, the Innkeeper, because you want to make sure, I mean, you don't have many plays, and if you find an untapped land next turn, you get the additional draw from the Innkeeper.
Exactly.
Ooh.
That's assuming that she can keep the Innkeeper on the board.
Yeah, and she did not attack with the 1/1 here because there is the 1/3 rogue. So she didn't want to trade into nothing here, and I think that was really good.
All right, so Hunter, he got his land, but now, I mean, there's not really much he can do here.
He's thinking, do I want to deal with Edward Innkeeper here and make sure that opponent doesn't draw a card? And I think that's what we're going to see here. So you want to make sure that you deal with the Innkeeper so opponent doesn't draw a card.
There's that untapped land.
Yep.
And regardless, Talia can, even if it doesn't resolve, she still draws that extra card.
Yeah, so now Hunter wants to counter this to make sure there is not a Henge coming down next turn.
And it could have been.
Yep. So it is so good for the Gruul Adventure player to draw the extra card here, right? To go not 1-for-1, so because you got 2-for-1, right? You draw a card, something goes away, but you still get the extra card, and that's really important.
All right, so we went ahead and played that Triome, and he's passing because, you know, with these flash decks, it's their turn is on the opponent's turn.
Yep.
So
what we're going to see here is the option to play Ooze or just a Giant to draw a card. and keep. Yeah, there are multiple options. I think Ooze is pretty nice. You can have the Fire Prophecy here, and I think Talia is pretty happy with her current hand.
Is Hunter wearing a onesie or is that a hoodie?
No, he's wearing a hoodie. I don't know what hoodie it is. Yeah,
I
he's
was hoping it
wearing a
was a
hoodie.
onesie. I was excited.
Yeah, so I think I like the line here that Talia went. Her hand is really good here.
Hmm.
See another thief coming in. The milling is going. So
That's a lot of cards.
if you're in Hunter shoes, you go like, give me that into the story. Give me that into the story here, because there are 8 cards in Talia's graveyard right now, and if you find that into the story, you basically just refill your hand magically.
Exactly. But Talia can easily kill one of the rogues here.
Yep. And I think that's fine. You don't want to make first you get rid of 1 creature, and second you make sure there's not more mill going on. Oof, that's really interesting. So Hunter has the ability to actually swap this with Seraph. So yeah, that was
But Talia knows that, so she goes ahead and does that block, getting rid of that 1/1 that she doesn't necessarily need.
yeah, definitely. So
Oh, there's the cleave.
this is going really well for Talia here. She draws just really well. And wow. So yeah, I think Bone Crusher Giant here, get a threat on board seems like the best option. You still have the Fabled Passage on hand, find another land, and this looks good. This looks actually really good.
And then, yep, she can go ahead and do that Fabled Passage, crack it for red if she wants to, yep, hold up that Fire Prophecy.
Yeah, and here we see how powerful Edward Innkeeper is. If Edward Innkeeper is on the board, and it just stays on the board, every time you play an adventure creature, it's just gonna draw a card, and we see a 5-hand here for taaliavess, which is impressive. And I think she's happy about the situation. She's smiling. She's definitely happy here.
Definitely seems like it.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like Hunter just drew Shark Typhoon, which is not quite the right card in this situation.
And here
But it's not terrible.
Yeah, an attack again to try to get Sarah San in. But before blocks are declared, she will use Fire Prophecy, so there is no swap, and you can actually deal with the card.
And I would think that she's probably going to discard either the Primal Might or the Elemental here.
Yeah, I mean, the hand is so good. It's actually like, which card is the worst out of all my good cards?
Right? So she did go with the Primal Might.
Yeah, I think it was correct. You don't have to do it, actually, but yeah, the hand is definitely good.
And, oh, yeah, easy henge here. I mean, except there is always the worry about a counterspell.
There's always the worry about a counterspell. You have Hedge and Embercleave on hand. It feels like you feel like so powerful here, and you go like, okay, I think I just go for Henge. And then yeah.
So yeah, it looks like she's gonna do Henge and the Elemental.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do. There will be a lot of damage, but again, Seraph has Flash. There's also we can see some instant speed reaction from HunterPence here to react on the attack. And it's what we're gonna see.
And he could just cycle the shark as a blocker.
Yeah, exactly. There will be a cycle shock and a block on the giant here to make sure the giant goes, and that's a good advantage block for you. So I think this is what we're gonna see.
And getting rid of that giant also helps Hunter avoid a really nasty Embercleave.
Exactly. Took the damage
But
here.
he didn't do it. All right.
Took the damage. Maybe wants to use the cling to find another card.
Throwing in that trickster. All right.
With the Seraph Sun.
Ooh, top decking land. I mean, he could hard cast the shark.
Yeah, but I think it's not very good. I mean, you need to block here, so you force a block or you just get something, right? So this is where we see a block, which is still fine. You get something out, it's fine. So Talia's debating with which block she's going, and I think Innkeeper here did enough. Did all Eddie has to do.
Well, she now has the henge to help her draw cards.
has the
So
edge and has
Eddie's just a bonus and kind of helps mill her more. Not that his deck is focused quite as much on mill as a lot of these other Dimir decks,
Yep.
but they can still take its toll.
definitely, yeah. So with that Ember Cleave on hand and the Forest, you okay, so there's no creature, so the henge is not going off yet, right? So now you have to think, do I hold back a creature to make sure that Sarasen doesn't go through? Do I deal with Sarasen here? There's a lot of answers, a lot of lines, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like she's probably just going to go for the 14 damage.
Yeah, going in here, looking how how the blocks go, and then make a decision. I like this line.
All right, so he cycles the shark.
Yep.
Nice 4/4 shark.
Yep, definitely a nice shark.
Waiting to see how he declares the blockers.
Yep.
And there's the cleave.
Yep.
It's always so nice as a Gruul player to have both Henge and Ember Cleave in play. It's just like, chef's kiss.
It's super nice. It's so flexible, right? You have like the two powerful artifacts from Elden. You feel so good if you have both on board.
But then what doesn't feel good is when you top deck nothing but land and you can't actually get the advantage
Here we get
of
some.
the Henge.
It's really interesting. So we can get a permanent from Talia's graveyard, and we have an eliminate on the side of HunterPence, who can deal with the creature that has the Ember Cleave equipped.
So yeah, well, looks like he's going for that beast just so that he has a decent blocker.
Definitely, yeah. And again, so okay, this is a creature. So now we could see a powerful henge turn, right? Play creature, draw creature, play creature, draw creature.
And just make the most ridiculous board state that rogues can't really keep up with, or Dimir control. Flash.
And also just
whatever it is.
Kill both creatures, right? And that looks also like a solid plan here. You will actually win here because if you target Bone Crusher Giant, you take 2 damage. So if that attack goes through, you need to use you need to use Cling to Dust first to get some life to survive this turn. So Cling to Dust into Eliminate on the Bone Crush Giant on attack step so you don't die. That's the only line for how to get out here. It's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one here. So I mean, you can try to search a counter here. That's a possibility too. It's more risky. So Cling to Dust to get the life to survive here, and then playing the Eliminate is probably the more safe option, but using Vision to high roll a counter is also possible. And what are we gonna see?
Like he's debating what to do.
Yep.
So he is going with the Cling to Dust.
Getting the life.
And then yeah, he'll probably use that Eliminate to kill the Bone Crusher. Just eat that 2 damage.
Yep.
Which is worth it.
You have to go for it. Goes down on 3, but still has a Vision on hand and some draws.
Oh, Talia's face right there. Oh, she was not expecting that.
Wow,
oh.
So here you have to play the Vision at some point. Like, you know, there's an equip on the next creature, and you need to find a way. Like, I mean, you need to find another removal spell right there. This is the way it goes. You need to find the removal spell to have a chance here. It is tough, but you can dig really deep with the Vision, so that's definitely helping.
So I believe that Talia just attached the cleave to the elemental, and she's going for it. And now Hunter is going to play that Vision.
Yep, there's the Vision, and looking for the card. Found the removal spell, which is huge. Found the removal spell. It's really important.
All right, sorry about those technical difficulties, everybody. But it looks like I assume Talia came through.
Yeah, it looks like Talia came through here. So sideboard, right? If you're in HunterPence shoes, you go like, I want those lol mages. I want to get the creatures. I just don't want to be able to remove it. I want to own them. I want to get them. I want to steal them. I want to yoink them. So lol mage here, definitely the card you want to take. Hmm.
I like how Hunter named his deck the Real Rogues.
Yeah. Hunter is a really nice naming. He has decks that are called Dirty Dan, The Secret, and this is the Real Rogues now. So he's definitely really creative with his naming.
I am a little bit sad that he doesn't have a sleeve for his deck, though. Come on.
This is
Y'all need to get better at making pretty decks.
no sleeve gang, no sleeve gang. But
No.
I like the sleeves as well. There are many
Visuals.
there are many
Prettiness.
beautiful sleeves, and but sometimes you build if you build many decks, and Hunter also builds many decks, and he likes to brew stuff around. So every time you forget basically to just click the extra button to put on a sleeve. Maybe if there's one less click somewhere, it's easy to sleeve, right? Because I always forget about this. I always forget about I need to click that to get the sleeves in. Okay, so
All right. So he finished his sideboarding. Now we're just waiting for Talia to finish hers.
I think the sideboard.
So I would assume that Talia brought in like her Ox of Agonis, her Phoenix,
Yep.
basically the things that if she gets milled, they can come right on back and eat the graveyard.
I mean that's the way you want to do it, and Vivian is also a really strong card here. Vivian gives you the advantage, the card advantage, plus it gives you reach creatures, which is something you like. So the main goal for Hunter is still the same. Senref has to go in, steal the stuff. He has a lot of steal abilities now, and I'm really looking forward to the next game.
Should be interesting.
Definitely, yeah.
Should be interesting.
So what do you think? How will this go? Do you think there will be a 1-1?
I don't know. I've played a lot of Gruul,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can draw just right, you can pull it through whether you're on the play or not. But Dimir, if they can get the right draws and just keep killing everything or get the rogues out really quickly, they can pop off with it. So I'm not sure.
This is clearly a hand you want to keep if you're in Hunter's shoes. You have a removal, you have an early creature, and you have a way to steal opponent's cards as well. So this is really nice. On the other side, on Talia's side, you have the Edward Innkeeper again. You have 2 giants, which are also a removal spell, and you have 3 lands. So this look. Oh, you have 2 lights. Is this looking good? So
He wanted that second Temple of Deceit to the bottom. Ooh, turn 1 Innkeeper. I love to see it.
yeah. So the Gruul deck plays some turn 2 adventure creatures, right? They
Right.
play the Rimrock Knights, but that's about it. Besides that, there are not many cards that make you draw a card, so you don't get the effect of Innkeeper out of the bat here on turn 2. And Hunter now passes here because he wants to develop a creature or have the hardest act up if you need it.
Exactly. He's waiting to see what Talia plays here
Hmm.
to decide if he would prefer to throw in that rogue or, kill that Scooz or maybe just play the rogue.
Yeah, I like the play here. Playing the rogue to pressure here. You do not like to see the ooze. So yeah, the thing is, you're in a position right now where if you don't deal with the ooze with your hardest act right now, you need to use your
It's
Drown
gonna
Blood.
be a problem.
This is a tough decision. Like ooze and Edward Innkeeper are both the cards you do not want to see here. That's definitely not what you want to see. Interesting.
Yeah, because ooze can very quickly eat up that graveyard that you're relying on to be built up to get your card advantage.
Exactly. So we're gonna see the mill here of 2 lands, and Talia has only 1 land on hand. I mean, technically 2 lands since there are 2 flip cards. Yeah. So what do we see Hunter doing here?
So looks like Hunter is going to go ahead and kill that Scooz.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it.
Sorry, scavenging ooze.
This is a really tough decision, and he's not sure yet. At this point, I think if you decide to let this through, I think you make the decision of getting rid of Ooze here. That's what I think. Because now it's too late to kill Edward Innkeeper. So you make the decision to go get rid of the Ooze.
So Talia going ahead and getting that advantage with Innkeeper while she can, knowing that it could die at any moment.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've got the Heartless Act.
Yeah, so it was kind of streamlined here that you have to do this, and now you just drop in another Enforcer, and you make sure there are 5 cards in opponent's graveyard. So Talia will have 5 cards. Oh, wow. That's an interesting attack. So here you could actually take that block if you want to, if you care about the giant. But the question is, do you want to give up your Enforcer for this attack?
It's true. Is the trade-off worthy between
Close.
the Rogue and Edward?
It is really close. I think also here you can consider drawing. Yeah, finding a land here is also really important. I think there was actually a bit more of a greedy line here, but it kind of paid off here while finding the land. And now
Absolutely.
there's so many. Rogues is just such a deck with so many decisions. It's incredible.
I also really like seeing that Lull Mage in Hunter's hand. I know that he's just waiting to use that at like the perfect moment of like, oh, Questing Beast, yoink.
Yeah. So you don't want to use Doll Mage here right now, right?
Oh no, definitely not.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so you don't want to use it here because there is no hand next turn. So at this point you go like, I'm gonna get rid of the creature. But now the problem, and it's here we come back to the situation. Edward Innkeeper keeps you drawing cards. As long as Edward Innkeeper is on the battlefield, Talia will always draw a card while playing a creature, so the 1-for-1ing is not that effective. So this is the spot, right? This is a really interesting spot. I
And
think
Hunter's going back and forth on what he should do here.
yeah,
He really is weighing all of his options.
yeah, definitely. So if you play the Enforcer, you get 7 cards in the graveyard, and later on you will get 8 with the attack. So that works, but I would be scared of this Innkeeper here because the Innkeeper really makes sure that Tali can keep the cards. And we see a Law Mage on the Innkeeper, which is fine. It's a way to deal with the cards, especially because you can double spell next turn and you're not too afraid of a card here right now.
Exactly.
There is no Hench, there is no Embercleave. Brushfire, probably the most scary card with this.
Especially with that Fabled Passage.
Yeah, that's going to be 9 damage. So we know that we're going to activate the Rogue Tribal ability, which is having 8 cards in opponent's graveyard. So you're going to see an attack for sure there to make sure that there's 8 cards. And if you play the Enforce, you also additionally. Okay.
And Talia left 2 mana open, so she does have the Stomp available.
Wow, this is huge. This draw was absolutely huge. So you can actually attack with the Rogue.
Oh wow. Okay.
You get an extra creature. It lets you open to Embercleave though, right? It lets you open to Embercleave. Which is this is a tough spot as well. Let's see how Hunter plays this out. Oh, there's a Lost Rock Beast. Okay. So
Right.
I kinda think you wanna do it here and get a Lost Rock Beast. But then again, if there's an Embercleave on the giant and you don't it's such a hard turn. This is a really good game here. There's so many micro decisions again. Around what card do you play, or around what card do you not play?
So he's going with the Trickster.
Yep, there's a Trickster, and probably gonna get that Lost Rock Beast. Hello, give me that 5/5 creature. A big, beefy Lost Rock Beast. 5/5, 3 mana. That seems good to me.
You know, it's a pretty good.
Yeah.
And then yep, there's that Stomp killing the Innkeeper, just so they don't have an extra blocker.
Yep. That's definitely nice to do here. Now it all comes down, right? Is there an Embercleave or not? This is belief in the Cleave territory, and there's no Embercleave. There's no Embercleave. This is hard. This is actually hard.
Ooh, all right. So there's another Scavenging Ooze.
I think you want to develop the Ooze here. This is probably the best play. Just develop that Ooze. You cannot really attack here, right?
No.
Sacrifice a creature, and you definitely want to make sure you block with the Seraph Sand here. But the Ooze is a great card, and go for Mammoth and the Ooze. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it looks like Talia is just building her board state, just getting everything on her side so that she can just go in with one big swing that he just can't really overcome.
So we have 3 removals here on Hunter's side. We have an Eliminate, a Heartless Act, and a Block. So first thing here, you wanna get rid of that Ooze. That Ooze
Oh
cannot
yeah.
stay here. It's really bad.
And yeah, it just needs to go as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I would think probably use the eliminate on it, but
So it's really hard to say. If you use the Heartless Act on the Ooze, it's okay because there's no counter. But I think you want to keep the Heartless Act in case there is a potential questing beast or something bigger with 3 mana. It's a really close one here. You could play around another Ooze. This is totally possible. But yeah, it's a hard turn. Again, there's so many these turns are really hard, and Hunter is always on 4 mana, but it allows you to double spell.
exactly. And I would imagine that he's probably just going to hold up that 2 other mana here.
Yeah, I think so as well. You're gonna swing in here. Oh, offers a trade. Offers a trade. Okay.
And she takes that trade.
Offers the trade. Getting rid of the 4/3 here naturally secures him actually 2 life, right? Because he doesn't have to shoot on the Bone Crusher Giant here and lose 2 life. Because if you target Bone Crusher Giant with a spell, you lose 2 life.
Right, so she's able to play a land, making both of her creatures pretty big and mighty.
Yep. They are big, but there's an eliminate.
She
Oh,
doesn't know that, but it's true.
so here you block, I think. Yeah, you block because you offer the trade, and now you know there's no eliminate. At this point, I think you know that there's no eliminate, and yeah, she played the last card. So if you hunt in Hunter's Pen shoes, you go like, okay, that's a board. Okay, sure, it's a board, but there's no Embercleave. Now you need to find a way
Exactly.
to make sure you defend yourself. You have
And Talia is top decking at this point.
Yep, Tali's top decking, and you can always fiddle your way out with the rogues here, finding that into the story.
So it
Interesting.
looks like he's maybe debating whether to kill the mammoth here.
Yeah, you want to definitely get rid of the mammoth here. It could get to a 5/5 next turn, and you want to play mana efficient, right? So you need to use your spell here, and it's definitely
Absolutely.
eliminate Overdrown in the lock.
Well, he finally got another land, but unfortunately, it is a tapped land.
So in this, Hunter's actually happy in this position, I think. So you have a 1/3 or a 2/3 rogue here that can easily block the elemental if there is no land drop, and your 1 mana creature can actually block the Bone Crusher Giant because it's a 3/2 and has Death Touch, so there's potential. And you can always leave up your Drown in the lock. So this is a spot where you kind of can be here. So Talia, by playing the land here, gives Hunter the confidence of like, okay, I know what's going on. She played the land. I know exactly what I do here. I'm just gonna block here, and that's it.
And then he goes ahead and plays that Soaring Thought Thief now, knowing that there's literally nothing else in her hand.
Yeah, exactly. So here, exactly, that's the correct block. I would also do this. You get rid of the creature. You still take 3 damage, but you have the count on hand, so you know the next top deck is countable. Oh, 1 land off.
He does have the option of Cling to Dust if he needs more life.
Yeah. Exactly. So now it's gonna be tricky, right? Because you
That serpent.
cannot really block the elemental here. Ooh, okay. That's we have
Ooh.
to counter this. You cannot block the elemental, right? Because it cannot be blocked by creatures 2 or less power.
Right.
So if you sacrifice the enforcer there, you cannot block it anymore. So this comes in.
So it looks like, yeah, he's going to go ahead and do the Cling to Dust, gain some more life, just to kind of give him a little bit of buffer room with just all these attacks. But if Talia gets, what is it, 1 more, then she can get the henge out.
Yeah, so she kept the henge here. She couldn't play it because there's no land, but getting the extra draw here is really important. If Hunter finds a land. There is a no land, but still many interactive spells. Not afraid of anything right now with the double counters.
Absolutely not. And we've got the Brazen Borrower, so that if she does play another threat, or if she tries to play Ember Cleaver, really anything, it can just be sent right back.
Exactly. There's a land, and there is the hench. You definitely want to deal with this hench, right?
Yes.
It has to go. This is like you say no.
You
no,
say, nope, you are being drowned into that lock. You're no henge.
Thank you.
Do not pass go, do not collect, 2 life.
Here you could bounce. This is like 3 damage going on 3. It's always so scary, right? I think bounce, yeah. So if you play against any deck that has the color red in, you go like, I don't like too much to be on 3 lives. Okay, no land again, but then we found another thief, which makes the other thief a 3/3 and able to block the elemental now. Decisions. I think we attack. So the thing is, there are escape creatures in the deck, right? If you play the other thief, you mill for 4, but there's a higher chance to hit the escape creatures. So it's a really, really hard decision here, and sometimes it happens.
Ooh. She did draw that Fire Prophecy, so she can kill one of the Thought Thieves.
Yep.
But there's another one in its place.
There's another one in its place. It's still fine. You can go for 1 damage, but if you Hunter, you just play Brazen Borrower and the Thief end of turn to have as much power on the field as possible. So
absolutely.
Here we're gonna see a win for Hunter because there's no out anymore. Hunter knows that this has to be the win with Brazen Borrower and Thief is 5 damage on board.
And she was waiting for that Borrower so that she could go ahead and Fire Prophecy it.
Exactly.
But there's Drown in the Luck. Oh, Talia! So upset over that counter spell.
Okay,
oh.
call it 1-1. Happy.
Woo! All right.
Takes it really well.
Whew, that was an intense round. That was really back and forth.
Yeah, that was definitely intense. So Hunter, I think, sideboarded correctly here, and I don't see any big changes here now. I mean, you have your removals, you have your plan, stick to your plan, and that is what you want to do. If you're in Talia's shoes, you're on the play now, right? And we know that the green-red decks on the play are definitely really strong. And yeah, it's always scary to play against those type of decks.
And she's got Clothis in main board, and if that gets on the board, that can be a bit difficult for Hunter to take care of without a Brazen Borrower.
Yeah, Clothis is the card you probably the most afraid. But then again, you have the Brazen Borrower and you have the counters. You have a little bit of more options than other decks, and yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to game 3 here. This is a friendly match between 2 friends in real life playing some Magic online here during the COVID time because we have the client. Thanks to MTG Arena, we can play those games.
Exactly.
Hunter's not sure. Hunter's like, should I do 1 more of them? I can exactly hear his voice right now. I'm watching him a lot, and yeah. So here we go.
All right. So it looks like he finalized it.
Yeah. So this is the match. Best of 3. Here we go.
So it looks like they're both smiling here, so they're both having a good time.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna see here 2 lands, but really good hand. This is actually 3 land. This is the land Hunter wants.
Oh, absolutely.
Creature and pressure. But if possible, you also want to find 1 more Drown in the Lock, and then you're happy to go.
And I love seeing that Low Mage in his hand again. I know that it'll be a bit before we get to see its play, but it's just such a nasty card.
There was a mulligan on Talia's side.
Ooh!
She didn't like it too much, and Hunter doesn't have a. I mean, he could have an untapped black land here to get rid of it, but then again, you know that there is almost no chance of a 2-drop adventure.
Exactly. Especially after sideboarding, it is very rare in these sort of matchups for the Gruul players to really even keep the potential for that 2-drop of like
So
Rimrock Knight or something.
this is a classic Mulligan 5-hand, right? You have 2 Edward Innkeeper, and if you play 1 adventure card, you're gonna draw 2 cards. So Hunter's like, no, 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 you took a mulligan. I don't give you both. I don't give you. There's 2 blood chiefs first on hand. The perfect dance.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Talia is not happy at all here. This is
oh,
a really
so
big blowout. I can
brutal.
imagine her reaction here. It's like, oh my god, I had
Oh,
one big chance, and he had both answers here on hand.
and she top decked more land. So really the only thing she had right now is the Bone Crusher Giant.
Yep.
I'm
So
pretty sure she literally just said, I'm so mad.
yeah, that's a huge blowout. Like, I mean, so you mulligan, right? You draw the Edward Innkeeper, which gives you a draw on each adventure. You draw 2, and if you play the Bone Crusher Giant there, you actually same in cards, if not ahead on 1. And drawing lands here, she's looking at the camera and is like,
She is just
no.
she is not happy right now. And I don't blame her at all.
Yeah, it's oh my god, the start was so interesting, but having the answers and drawing only lands, yeah.
Ugh. It's so brutal when that happens when you're Gruul as well, and when your outs are taken away.
Yeah. I mean, well, so yeah, we're gonna see another creature here and some milling going on. And
She's
good
lost
board
an
play.
Embercleave.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. I think the keeper there, like getting rid of the keeper was just way too huge here, and she knows. She's like, if they survived, I would have this. I would have a full hand. It would be beautiful. But nope, didn't happen. Didn't happen.
All right, and Hunter still has quite a lot to choose from here.
Yeah, I kind of like it though. So if you go for the cling here, you try to secure the land, right? You want to go to your 4th land without playing the Agademes here, because you have many creatures,
Exactly.
so the Agademes could be nice. And he
And
found,
there it is.
yep, found the other blue. Definitely prioritize the lol mage here to steal the creature. And I think that's the correct choice here. I think that was really well played, making sure you hit your lands, and that's all you want.
Looks like she's gonna go ahead and stomp that rogue, but we have another one, and that's gonna be a lot of milled cards again.
Yep. So we're gonna see the activation of the Rogue Tribal ability, 8 cards in the graveyard here. So we have a 4/2, or actually a 3/2 and a 2/3 with the buff from the Thief. Offering a trade here. I like the decision here. Hunter's like, okay, I'd rather take that card, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hunter wants to make that his own giant.
Yeah, yeah. And now interesting here, the swamp actually also gives him access to the creature cards if he has to block.
Oh,
That's
and
mine now.
Talia doesn't have anything in hand right now.
So
Really, her only out is if she can top deck another Embercleave, if she had more than one left in her deck
believe
after
in the cleave.
sideboarding.
Believe in the cleave, right? Oh, the Ox is huge though.
Ooh,
The
Ox is good.
Ooh, that's a huge one. But there's no flying evasion. But that Ox is huge. Whew. That was one of those escape cards that are definitely really nice to see here. Wow. So
I think she's gonna play one of her lands first,
definitely.
and then play the Ox.
Yep. To have not as much discard as you want to, because if you don't draw a land, you miss on the land, and you want to make sure
Exactly.
if you draw a red spell, you still have the ability to draw the red spell. I had to play the red spell. Okay, here we go. What can we find?
Eating up her graveyard.
So, still, ooh, okay. There is a potential hench next turn. So,
ooh, okay. We've got Vivian too.
There's a lot of creature on the field. So that is really interesting. Wow. So now the Rogue Tribe is not strong anymore because the cards got exiled from the graveyard there. This is interesting. That Ox was huge. Really huge, because the clock is completely gone now.
All right, so he's going to go ahead and choose that trade. Bone Crusher Giant for Bone Crusher Giant.
Yeah, I think it's correct here. You want to preserve your life total, but Talia is just shipping more creatures on the field, and wow, oh my god, this is intense.
Oh, did he just top deck the Sad Seeker, the Xerath?
Really, you want to know
Ooh.
really cool? You can actually get the cleave.
Oh my goodness. But will they?
Oh my god, yeah, this goes through. So this will be not blocked, right? You play the
Right.
Saracen, you get a permanent from the graveyard, you get the cleave, and you attach it. And that's over. This is the
Ouch.
most incredible top deck I saw.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is like
Oh, is he gonna do it?
Yeah, he's probably gonna do it.
Oh,
Oh my god, the cleaved Seraph.
I'm
Amazing. I
so
wanna see
excited to see their faces.
Yeah.
Talia has no idea what's happening. Oh my gosh. There's the cleave.
Oh no, it only happens post
top
damage. I'm so sorry. But I think it was nice to put the cleave there because it's on damage, right? It's not on attack. I was too hyped here. Sorry guys, but that was a really cool draw. Wow, a cleaved Enforcer. So Death Touch, First Strike, and Trample is really, really strong because now you just attack and the first damage from the Enforcer actually kills the creature. So even if there's a double block, you would do 2 damage and the rest goes through, which is really important to know here. But yeah, this cleave stealing is pretty amazing.
He eats 5 damage, which is fine at this point.
So Hunter's like, okay, I only lose to a removal spell onto the Enforcer, and yeah, there will be a swing.
No, Hunter has this secured.
There's no way out except the removal spell, but there's no card on hand since the Ox is on graveyard, and this is a 2-1 for Hunter, and it was a really good game. I really enjoyed that.
Oh yeah,
game.
it was actually really close. There was a lot of back and forth. This game it definitely wasn't favored as much for Talia with her really poor draws, but overall, like they played to their outs.
Definitely. I mean, we saw the double Adult Innkeeper there and the double answer, like 1 mana removal spell. How powerful is that, right? We didn't have Fatal Push in standard, so here we have first, Bloodchief's first, and just getting rid of Adult Innkeeper on turn 2 is amazing.
To be able to get rid of both of them, like that was what Talia was banking on, being like her savior of having to mold a 5 and making up for that, but
Nope. Hunter was like, nope, you don't do that. So it was a really cool game between 2 friends, 2-1 for Hunter in the end. And yeah, I mean, Dimir Rogues against Gruul. This is a matchup that is definitely probably the most played matchup, I would say.
It's pretty common.
Definitely. So I enjoyed the matchup a lot, like all the other matchups, and this was the 5th round, and I'm already looking forward how the standing will look like after the 5th round. We definitely going to show you this.
Exactly. So we have one more round of Swiss before we cut to the top 8, and I'm really excited to see what the standings look like after this round.
Yeah, me too.
Because we had 3 people who were undefeated, so we'll find out if they're still undefeated.
Yeah. So there was Andrzej Strawski, Crookies, and I believe
was it? I have it right here. Christoph
Prince, yeah. Christoph Prince, so who is still undefeated? We know what 2 of them are playing against each other, so we know that one of them will not be undefeated anymore.
Right. But and I believe it was Christoph. It was Christoph versus Crokies, and apparently Crokies was defeated.
So it looks
Crokies
like
will now be 3-1.
It's a 5-0 train, and as I can read on this old 5-0 train, impressive, yeah. So there's still tiebreakers and everything. There's still a lot to go, but going 4-0 and losing then is definitely way better than losing the first game and winning the rest, because it's really important for the tiebreakers, and the tiebreakers in this type of tournament could be game changer here for the top 8.
It's definitely turning into a more and more intense just tournament. I love it. This is what I love to see. I love tight matches.
Okay, so we're going to, and then we're gonna watch the interview with HunterPence. Welcome everyone to today's F2K United Tournament interview series. And today we have a special guest. We have HunterPence here. I don't have to say too much about him. I think most of you know him, but HunterPence, tell us something about you.
Hey Danny, I can tell you something about me. First off, I'm a big fan of you, big fan of Magic, new to the scene, transitioning. You know, I played baseball for 14 years in the major leagues here in the United States, and I've been a Magic fan for, you know, basically I started when I was 12, but I really got into it about 5 years ago.
Yeah, I heard a lot. You have you also in your local community. You play Magic there. Play Magic online. You really fell in love with Magic, and you stream a lot of Magic. I watch you as well. Also a fan of you. We also built deck together. I really enjoy our time, and you are a really good Magic player. I can tell you that. You hit double Mythic, right?
I mean, I did hit double Mythic. I put a lot of time into that. It was my first month of Standard, actually, of like really like actually going for Standard. I've been mainly the last 5 years has been limited for me because that's all I had time because I was obviously playing baseball, but I'm recently retired, so now I'm like diving into Standard because that's kind of the way to, you know, the way to get to the bigger tournaments and to really compete. And so I have that competitiveness in me and just that love for mastering and building decks, and really I just love the Magic community. And yes, I have a coffee card game shop where people play Dungeons and Dragons, and we run Friday Night Magic and stuff in Houston as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. So you're definitely involved to the scene now, and you get more involved day by day. So if we talk Magic, like, do you have any favorite moment in Magic for you or that occurred on a tournament?
Wow, I have several favorite moments. I mean, like I said, I've only gone to one Grand Prix, and I went this off season just before the 2020 season. It was in New Jersey, and it was incredibly packed, and like my heart was so full because like I absolutely love Magic, and to like be around that many Magic players. I was staying at the hotel across the street, and I just remember it just feels like when other people know Magic, it's very rare, you know, like for me personally, to like always have someone to talk to unless I'm going to Coral Sword and or to see games going on everywhere. But walking into the hotel lobby and like all of the tables were like full of like people just playing Magic, trading Magic cards, and you go over to the tournament and everyone, you know, it was just like this. It just brought out so much joy in my heart, and I love the scene. So I would say that my favorite though Magic memory is not anything to do with professional. It's actually a memory from at Coral Sword where we ran just, you know, we have like a 3-game tournament, and like there's prizes for whatever, and this one kid who just got married and he really wanted an Oko. This was in the time of Oko, and he's like, I could never get Oko. I need it for all of my decks. And this kid, like, you know, it was just like, I don't know how to explain it, but they both got a pack, and there was a college kid who was like, all I do is open Oko, and this college kid barely, like, he didn't have very much money. He's a typical college kid, and actually kind of looked like Brad Pitt. Like, he has like this long hair. Like, whenever you play him, everyone's like, oh, did you play the guy with the beautiful hair? He looks like Brad Pitt from True Romance, if you want an idea. He's just like this, like, I don't know, crazy cat that, you know, is like probably living in like a small apartment without much money, but beautiful, handsome, and he's really bright. And he's like, all I do is open Oko. He's like, watch, with my prize pack, I'm gonna open Oko and I'm gonna give it to you. This time is like a $60 card. Yeah. So you know, everyone's in the thing, and like they didn't even win the like premier match. And everyone kind of gathers around, and he opens it and flips it over, and the first card is Oko, and the whole back room of the basement, like, everyone's like, oh! The kid that wanted it, like, goes down, like, almost crying, and he hands it to him. He's like, here, you know, congratulations on getting married, and it was just, like, this cool moment.
That's an amazing story. That's really an amazing story. Also, the gathering, like, together, and just everything you told in the story is just beautiful. That's definitely an amazing memory. I mean,
yeah, the community is real, man. Yeah, it's so fun.
Thank you for coming here. If you want to tell everyone where we can find you, like outside maybe of Twitch or something, just let us know.
Well, first of all, thanks for the honor, for the invite. I am so excited to play everyone, and you can find me at twitch.tv/HunterPence. It's just my name, pretty simple, and I stream 3 to 7 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, so thank you again, and see you at the tournament.
All right, thank you, Danny.